Okay, today we're looking at how to make a compression joint to join two bits of copper pipe together, and we're looking at how to do this sort of fairly simply and easily without too much trouble. Right, the first thing to do is to get your joint and have a little look at it. Okay, see here, see how the olive, this is how it works. The olive goes over the pipe, the nut squeezes it down and crushes this little olive, it squeezes it to the pipe, and that then is held against and held in there. So the first thing to do is we need to discover how it should, how much we need to do it up. So the first thing is make sure your olives are straight so you can see them. You don't want them sort of over to one side like that, because you won't know where it should sit, so that's no good because you can't tell where it should screw down to. So make sure it's nice and straight in there, because all joints are different. Nice and straight in there. Have a quick look. You can see that in this instance it's pretty much going to go down to the base of the threads. There's only like one thread showing on that side, and there's pretty much one thread showing on that too. So we know that that's where the olive is uncrushed, but it's nice and snug up against it. The reason for that is that when we put it together, we want to make sure that we haven't got it all sort of cross-threaded and mucked up, and so we know where we're up to with it. Now, the great thing, well, the thing about this is that if you imagine we're doing this joint here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to be doing it up, and let's put this nut on so as you can see. So this joint here, if you think we are going to screw that up there, but we've also got that piece of pipe there, so we're going to get our wrench and we're going to be doing it up here, aren't we? That way. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be forcing against this piece of pipe up here. So the main force when making one of these joints is the initial force of crushing that olive onto the pipe. So what I suggest when doing this is to actually initially pre-squeeze each of these joints. So what I'm going to do here is imagine that I was making this joint exactly like this here. So that wanted to be there like that. That's the piece of the pipe section I need. I don't want to be here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up bending or distorting this up here. So what I would look at doing here is I would look at gripping the joint, nipping this up here so that it deformed the olive as I wanted it, slackening it back off, doing the top one. So obviously that would be captive on there that time. Doing the top one here, like so, and then reassembling both bits, but knowing I didn't need to force them too hard, because I had already deformed the olive and the main strength of the joint was already there. So I could just come up and I could just nip each one. Okay, so how much strength, how much force, and what do you need to put on this joint? My personal view is to use plumber's paste, just because it makes sure that the joint doesn't snag as you do it. You can use PTFE around the olive if you want, but I don't really like doing that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get the olive and we're going to get it nice and sticky inside and out like that. I'm going to put that over the pipe, put the pipe in the hole, put the nut over it, and we're then going to screw it all the way down until we know, you can see one thread showing, we know that's right, because we just checked it before, didn't we? Checking to see how far down it should go. I'm then going to take the fitting and grip the fitting. You want to make sure you don't mangle the threads doing this. You can grip it from the side, but this is a useful way to do it. Grip it there, and I'm then going to give it about half a turn, maybe 3/4 of a turn, like so. There we go. A little bit more because I'm bad with the camera angle. 3/4 of a turn. Then we'll wind that back off. We can have a little look. So you can see there, you can see the nice bright ring where it's crushed against the fitting, it's crushed against the nut, and that is nice and tight down against it. You can then make the other one, make the other joint. So you can do both of these so that the olive is captive. You can then get them both down finger tight, knowing that, you know, the main force you need to put on that thread, on that fitting has been done. You can grip it from the corner, and you can just then nip it back up. There we are, guys. I hope that helps. I mean, what I'd say is that the main problem in doing this is that with the tees, if you're whaling that way, you do end up bending this connection up here. So it's mostly important for tees. Here, the force here isn't usually on a bend isn't usually as bad as it is on a tee, because with a tee you're doing it with both, so you're both forcing it that way and that way. You know, by tightening this one, you force it this way, tighten that one, forcing that way. So my thought is, you make each joint, you make the mechanical strength of each joint first by doing it up while you grip the fitting and nothing else is in it, and then once you've done that, you can reassemble the joint. You can reassemble it without having to really force on it too hard. Obviously you're doing it up tight, but you're not forcing on it too hard. And a little drop of plumber's paste does wonders, because it stops the olive snagging as you do it up, as you do the nut up. There we are. I hope that helps.